right. So if you're tuning in, you must need a little more guidance. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. And we're going to look at number 6. So I'm not going to help you write the equations, but I will help you with some of the labeling. So at this time, when I'm looking at this problem, the very first thing I want to notice is my key. My key is telling me that this model with 100 equal pieces is going to be representing one whole. That means each individual piece is going to be 1/100th of the whole thing. So very quickly, I'm going to write my G, E, T to stand for my groups, my each, and my total. Now, when I'm looking at this, one of the things that I find easy to start with sometimes is looking for the total. So I notice that each column is worth 10, so I'm going to count these in groups of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, plus 61, 62, 63, 64. So it looks like I have 64 hundredths to start with. I don't know why my decimal point's so far over. Whoops. There we go. We'll make that look a little bit prettier. Okay, now I'm going to go back and try to find my group. So I see this light shading, that could be one group. This dark shading, 2 groups, 3 groups, and 4 groups. And I'm going to let some of my numbers kind of guide my thinking. So I really do think that based on some of the answer choices that I see, 4 is a reasonable number. And finally, I'm going to be looking at how many is in each group. So remember, you should always count them at least 3 times, because 1 time you want to just count carefully, 2 times you're double checking, and 3 times it's a pattern. So when I count this, I have 10 hundredths, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to label that 16 hundredths. And I do see 16 kind of around, so that kind of makes me think I'm headed in the right direction. I have a group of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and I'm going to label that 16 hundredths. Third time's a charm, so let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got 16 hundredths again. And of course, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 hundredths seems to be what is in each. Now that I have my get, I'm able to go back and write my 2 multiplication statements and my 1 division statement. Remember, when you're thinking about multiplication, multiplication is groups times each equals total, or each part of group equals total. And when you're thinking about division, it's always the total divided by the groups will tell us how many in each. Okay? Once you have your statements, I want you to go back and I want you to circle 2 answers that match what you wrote. Make sure you're being very careful about your place value. Pause the video, write your statements, circle your answers, and then unpause to meet me on the next page if you're needing help. If you're still watching this video, then you must need a little bit of guidance on this one. So again, I start by looking at my model. The key tells me that this model represents one whole, and this model has 10 equal pieces, which means each one of these is worth 1/10. So I'm going to start by labeling G, E, T. And once I have my GET, it's always easy sometimes for me to find the groups. So that's that dark circle. So I see 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go ahead and label my groups. Once I can identify my groups, then I need to find out how many are in each. So I'm going to label. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And remember, that's 7/10. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then finally we'll count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now that I have these labeled, I'm going to write that as 7/10. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to go back and grab my total. So when I see my total, I want to look for these whole pieces. So I have one whole. I see another whole, so that's 2 wholes, and 1/10. 2 wholes and 1/10. And now that I have all of this, I can go back and write my 2 multiplication statements, and I can write my 1 division statement. Write those now. Go back and circle your 2 answer choices that match what you're doing, and then you can meet me back after. Pause the video, circle, write whatever it is you're doing, and then unpause the video, and I can give you guidance for one more problem. All right. If you're still listening, then that means you need help on this this one, and then you're going to have to do the last page on your own. So again, just like we started, we want to notice our key. Our key has 10 equal pieces, which means that we have 1 whole. And we're going to start with G, E, T. So one of these pieces will stand for 1 whole. That means any of these other pieces would be a 10th, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 make a whole. So anything that's a part of the whole is going to be in the 10th place. So right away, I'm going to look for my groups. I want you to label your groups. That's right. If you were able to come up with the number 4, that is exactly what I saw. I saw 4 groups. I want you to count how many in each. That's right. When I was able to count this, this is 1 whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be 1 and 8/10. Now my total. My total is going to be a little bit trickier because remember, we've got some whole pieces and some tenths. So in this case, I do think multiplication is going to be my good friend. So I'm going to take 1.8. I'm going to multiply it by 4 groups. And I'm going to treat it just like regular multiplication. 4 groups of 8 is going to give me 32. Carry your 3. And 4 times 1 is going to give me 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 72 doesn't make sense at all because I don't have 72 models. But I most definitely could see where I could get 7 and 2/10. And by looking, I can see that this kind of confirms my thinking. So my total is going to be 7 and 2/10. If I wanted to use some repeated addition, I could do that too. I could say 1 and 8/10, 1 and 8/10, 1 and 8/10, 1 and 8/10. But basically, if I'm using repeated addition, it's way faster to multiply. So this would be 8, 16, 24, 32. Carry your 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 and 2/10. So these are the same. At this time, what I'd like you to do is write your 2 multiplication statements and your 1 division statement. Go back and circle the ones that match. Now, if you're still listening to this video, The rest of this is on your own. You should have one page left. So think about the strategies that we've used already. We've looked at the model, we've used our get, and we've carefully labeled each one of these to write our 2 multiplication statements and our 1 division statement. Those are still the strategies you should use. And then finally, for the last page, look at your model, write your strategy, and then see what you can come up with. Make sure you're circling 2 for each page.